The statue of legendary Penn State coach Joe Paterno came down on Sunday.
Penn State community, which is bracing for yet another major blow today.
Authorities are on site this morning at Penn State, prepping to bring down Joe Paterno's statue.
Joe Paterno coached Penn State for 46 years. In 1950, he became an assistant coach at Penn State, and 16 years later took over the reins as the Nittany Lions head coach. Paterno led Penn State to 2 national championships.
You know, I say many times, and the kids hear me say it, and 1,000 times a year, you either get better or you get worse. You can't stay in one place. You can't be the same football team next week you were last week, just like you can't be the same person.
I think winning's all part of the game, and if you're not trying to win, there's no sense playing it. I mean, that's why we keep score, obviously. But I can't get excited about losing a football game. We lose, we lose. I think if you bring a kid into college and you don't think he can do the work and he doesn't graduate, you've really exploited him. He'll fill a stadium with 77,000 people at $10 a head, and he's got a grant and aid that's maybe worth $2,500 a year. I think if he doesn't get his education, you turn him out without that, you've exploited him. But if he comes and gets an education, gets an opportunity to develop the way he should, like other young people had, and would not have had that opportunity except for football grant and aid, then I think he's really got a good deal, and it's a good situation.
Football's greatest coach, Joe Paterno.
I came here 56 years ago. I looked at this place and I said to myself, God almighty, what am I doing here? For me to have been a part of what has happened here, to walk into that stadium, which I'm going to walk in tomorrow, and we're going to have towels waving, and we're going to have a whitened section, and we are going to be the loudest, raucous crowd that ever watched a football game.
2010, he won his 400th game and thanked his loyal fans.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for staying for this post-game ceremony. It looks like we didn't have to twist your arm too hard. We are here to honor Coach Paterno on an amazing milestone.
People ask me why I stayed here so long, and you know what? Look around. Look around. I stayed here because I love you all.
One of the greatest coach ever. This will never be done ever again. 400 victories. He deserved it, man. He deserved it. He ain't never give up on us, man.
I want to thank President Spanier and Tim Curley for making this such a special night. But most of all, I want to thank the guys who played for us. And I mean us. I mean Penn State.
Breaking news.
New details from a news conference that is just wrapping up. A coach for one of America's best-known college football teams is arrested on sex abuse charges. This weekend, former Penn State defensive coordinator Jerry Sandusky, the guy on the left, was charged with sexually abusing 8 young boys. Then 2 university staffers resigned, high-level staffers, amid accusations that they covered up the abuse.
Breaking news, a verdict in the Jerry Sandusky trial sex abuse case. Jerry Sandusky moments ago arrived at the courthouse to face the jury that will decide if he goes to jail.
That legendary football coach Joe Paterno may be forced out by Penn State because he did not do enough on a sexual abuse case involving one of his top coaches.
We're always going to be Penn State, regardless of what happens to certain people. We're Penn State. I'm proud of you, fellas. I'm proud of you. I've always been proud of you. We're proud of you. Hey, let's all just see that football team on Saturday, all right? And beat Nebraska.
Let's begin this morning with the sudden end of an era at Penn State University. Just 12 hours after legendary football coach Joe Paterno announced that he's going to retire because of the child sex abuse charges against his former top assistant, the university fired him, along with Penn State's president.
Joe Paterno is no longer the head football coach, effective immediately.
There is a request for calm on the campus of Penn State after loyal students erupted in outrage over the firing of Joe Paterno, their legendary football coach, who, by the way, was fired over the phone after 45 years at the helm.
They made him look like a freaking villain. Sure. You call him a legend, treat him like a legend.
Do you think he'd want you to be doing this, though?
No.
You gotta be kidding me. The police moved in aggressively.
A non-violent.
Police are spraying tear gas everywhere. It forces the crowd for a few minutes.
Get a good night's sleep. All right, study. All right, we still got things to do. All right, I'm out of it maybe now. A phone call put me out of it, but we'll go from here, okay? Hey, good luck, everybody. Hey, thanks for coming.
What's this day been like for you? Thank you for everything.
Hey, one thing. Thanks, and pray a little bit for those victims.
Coach.
We are Penn State.
This morning, college football is mourning one of its greatest coaches. Joe Paterno died Sunday morning, less than 3 months after his record-setting career at Penn State University came to a sudden and embarrassing end.